What's up buddies, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're gonna create this decent gray sword in Blender. If you haven't subscribed in my channel yet, just click on the subscribe button and also the bell in the case of not missing any new videos. So without any further delay, let's get into the process. Press A to select everything and X to delete all of them. And then let's add another cube by pressing Shift A. And from the mesh part, you can add a cube to our scene. Then press Tab to go to edit mode and let's scale it down a little bit. And also scale it on the X axis. Something like this. And then press 3 to go to face select mode and select this face. Then grab it by G and press Z to snap it to the Z axis and push it upward to somewhere like this. I think this height is enough. Then press E to extrude it a little bit. That is good. Then press S and X to snap it to X axis and let's scale it down on the X axis to somewhere like this maybe. And as you see, this will be our blade, the main part of our blade. Then press 3 again to go to face select mode and select these faces. Then press Alt E and this extrude menu will open up to you, and from this menu you can select extrude faces along normals. And as you see, we're gonna extrude them along their normals, and maybe this distance is good for it. That is good. And press S and Y to scale them on the Y axis, and maybe we can just scale them to somewhere like this. Maybe a little bit more. That is good. And select this face, the top face here, and let's scale it down on the X axis. Press S and X to snap it to the X, then scale it down to somewhere like this. Maybe a little bit more too. And we can grab it by G and press Z to snap it to the Z axis, and grab it along the Z axis a little bit to create this shape here. And press Tab again to go to object mode, and you see that this will be our main part of the blade. I think it's a little short. Maybe we can press Tab again and go to the edit mode. To make it a little bit longer, you can just select these faces and press G and Z to snap it to Z axis and bring it a little bit down to create this shape. I think this height is good enough. Press Tab again to go to object mode, and that is good, I think. Yeah, it's satisfying. Then let's add the handle part. Press Shift A and then let's add a cylinder for our handle. And you see this little menu will open up to you, and you can decrease the amount of vertices here. We can maybe change it to 16 or 18, but I'm gonna choose 16 for this tutorial. And press G and Z to bring it a little bit down. Then let's scale it. Press Tab to go to edit mode, and then press S, and this time you should hold Shift and Z to scale it on X and Y axis and not the Z axis. You see that it's scaling down and up in the both X and Y axis, and we deleted or we skipped the Z axis from the selection. And I think this will be good, or maybe we can scale it a little bit down. That is good. Select this face and bring it a little bit down. I think this is good. And let's grab it on the Z axis to somewhere like this. Then come back to edit mode by pressing Tab, and let's add some loop cuts here to create a shape on the handle part. Press Ctrl R, and you see that this is the preview of our loop cuts. And you can increase the number of loop cuts by scrolling down and up your middle mouse button. Let's add 11 loop cuts here. and then right click to skip the transform section. Now you see that we have added these loop cuts here. Hold Alt and select one of the loop cuts, then hold Alt and Shift, select the other one, not this one here, and maybe select this one, this one, this one, and also this one, and press S and scale them down. And you see that they are scaling down and up to the center of this object, and we want to scale them down individually. For now, let's right click and cancel the transform part and come to here. This is the pivot point transform section, and you can change this from median point to individual origins. And now if you press S and scale them down, you see that they're scaling down and up in their own origins. And then let's scale them down to somewhere like this, and also select these ones and press Ctrl B, and let's bevel them a little bit to something like this. I think this shape is good. Or maybe we can scale these loop cuts a little bit more to create a better shape. That is good now, and press tab again to go to object mode and come to this modifier tab, and let's add a subdivision modifier, or you can just press Ctrl 2 or Ctrl 1, and then the subdivision modifier will be added here. And you see that the viewport level of subdivision is 2, and also the render one is 2 here. You can decrease it in the viewport, or you can just keep it on 2. And also let's make it smoother by right clicking it and click on shade smooth. And you see that we have some issues here. Press tab again to go to edit mode, and we can add a loop cut to fix this. Add a loop cut and bring it higher to somewhere like this, and also add another loop cut here and bring it all the way up to here. And press tab again, and you see that we have created this great shape here. Maybe we can scale these loop cuts a little bit more, these inner loop cuts. Let's enable the X-ray mode to see the loop cuts properly. Select this loop cut, this one, this one, this one, this one, and also the last one. And let's disable it. And then press S and scale them a little bit, and press tab to go to object mode. I think that's good for now. And let's add another object here. Press tab to go to edit mode and select the face select mode from here, or you can just press 3 and select this face, then press Shift S and select cursor to select it. And you see that the cursor is snapped to the selection that we selected this face. Then press tab again to go to object mode, and then let's add a cube here and press tab and let's scale it down to somewhere like this, and press tab again and press G and Z to grab it on the Z axis. Then press tab and select this face, and maybe we can grab it on the Z axis a little bit and then scale it down to somewhere like this, and then select this face, then bring it a little bit down and scale it. And then let's add another loop cut here. Maybe we can keep it to somewhere like this, and let's scale it. And also we can select this face and scale it down. Maybe we can select all the faces by pressing A and scale the entire object a little bit. And also we can select this face and this loop cut here and press G and Z to grab it on the Z axis to make a shape like this. And let's come back to edge select mode and hold Alt and select this loop cut here, then press G and Z to grab it on the Z axis, and let's make a satisfying shape. I think for now this is good, or maybe we can push it a little bit downer, and maybe we can push it 2, or maybe we can move the entire object a little bit and press A to select everything and then scale them down. This is good for now, but maybe we can change it later. So come to this part and select the blade part, then press tab to go to edit mode and select this face here, then press Shift D to duplicate this face, then press P, then select the selection, and you see that it's separated this plane as a different object, and if you grab it you'll see that it's a different object here, and then press tab to go to edit mode and let's go to the edge select mode and select this edge and bring it all the way down to somewhere like this. I think this is good for now, and select this one, then press E and Y to snap it to Y axis and bring it to somewhere like this, maybe middle of the blade on the Y axis here, and press tab to go to object mode and let's mirror it by adding a mirror modifier. From the modifiers tab you can add a mirror modifier to this object, and from this menu you can just change the X axis to the Z, or maybe Y, not Z, then and also enable the clipping and press tab to go to edit mode again, then select this edge and grab it all the way up to here to snap these two edges together. And now we have this shape here. Then let's add some loop cuts. Press Ctrl R and let's add maybe 7 loop cuts for here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 7. I think 7 is enough. Then select these edges, these higher edges, and press Ctrl I to invert the selection. You'll see that the other parts that wasn't selected are selected here, and press H to hide them. Then select these ones, all of them, and come to the vertex select mode, then enable the proportional editing from here, or you can just press O on the keyboard, then select one of them, or maybe we can come to edge select mode and select this edge, this middle edge here, and press G then Z to move it along the Z axis, and you see that they are moving together. I think this is good for our shape here. Yeah, it's good. Then let's disable it and press Alt H to bring the hidden edges, and then let's select these edges here and press G and Z to bring it a little bit down to something like this is good. Then press tab again to go to object mode, and let's give it a little bit thickness. Come to this modifiers tab and add a solidify modifier, and then you'll see that it's getting some thickness. You can control the thickness here. We can increase it a little bit, and you see that it's going to inside of the shape. We can fix it. Press tab to go to edit mode, press A to select everything, and then let's grab it on the Y and let's push it a little bit to the outside of the weapon, and we'll have more control now. Let's push it a little bit too, and press tab again to go to object mode, and maybe we can add a little bit more thickness, just a little bit, not so much, and then you'll see that this isn't even, or this isn't the same, the thickness of here and here. Here is thicker than this part. We can fix it by enable the even thickness, and you see that it's fixed here, and every part of this shape has the even thickness or the same thickness. So press tab again and let's grab it a little bit inside. I think it is good. Maybe, yeah, it's good. Then Press tab again to go to object mode, and when you're satisfied with the thickness, you can enable the solidify modifier. By clicking on this arrow, you can apply it, or you can just hover your mouse on it and press Ctrl A to apply it. And if you press tab, you'll see that it's already applied. Then press tab again, and let's bring it a little bit down to something like this, and press tab, then press 3 to go to face select mode and select these faces here and these faces, and let's insert them by pressing I. Press I and insert them, and when you apply it, you'll see that we have a separate part here. To not have a separate part, you can press I and B. It will delete this part and make it same from here and up to the other part. But when I press I and B, it doesn't work. The reason is that if you press tab and press Alt Z to enable the X-ray mode, or you can just enable it from here, we have faces on this part. You should delete these faces. Press select all of them and press X and faces to delete them. And now let's disable the X-ray mode and let's select these faces again. And now if you press I and then B, it will work for you. Then let's insert them to somewhere like this, and then let's repeat the process. Press I again, and I think this is enough. Then hold Alt and select this loop cut, and press Alt E and select extrude faces along the normals, and let's extrude them inside a little bit. That's good. Then press tab again to go to edit mode, and maybe we can add a bevel modifier now for this shape, and let's change the segments to 2, and also let's decrease the amount to something like this, maybe. That's good for now. Press tab again, and let's add another object. Select this one and press tab, then select one of these faces and press Shift D and duplicate it, and right click to skip the transform section. Then press P and selection to separate it as we did previously in this video. Then press tab to go to object mode and select this new plane. Then press tab to go to edit mode and select the face select mode, and let's grab it and bring it all the way up to here, and also about this one. And as you see, this isn't a perfect square. We can fix it manually. I think maybe we can scale it a little bit more. I think that's good now. Then press A to select everything, and let's scale it a little bit. And now press E to extrude it to something like this, and press tab again to go to edit mode, and press G and Y to move it along the Y, and also press G and X to bring it a little bit higher. I think maybe we can scale it down. It should be a little object, and maybe scale it on the Z axis a little bit, and also the X one, to create a shape like this. And the mirror modifier doesn't work for this as well, for this part. It's because the anchor point of this object is on the wrong place. We should fix it. Press 3 to go to site orthographic view, and you see that anchor point is here. We can just press tab again to go to edit mode and right click, then set origin to 3D cursor, and you see that the origin is snapped to the 3D cursor, and now it's working very well as for this part of the blade. Let's add another additional object, and it will be our last model for the sword. Press Shift A and add a plane, and let's bring it a little bit to the side and also bring it a little bit higher. Then press tab to go to edit mode and press A to select everything, then press M and at center. And by doing this, you'll merge all the vertices at just one center, and we have just vertices here now. And press E and X to extrude this vertex along the x-axis, and maybe something like this is good. Press 1 to go to front orthographic view and push it to this part, maybe here is good, and then select one of them and press E and Z to extrude it along the z-axis. I think it is good, and then press this one too and press E and Z to extrude it along the z-axis. The reason that I didn't do this in just one time is that if you select both of them and press E and Z, it will create us a face, and I don't need a face for this tutorial. Because of that, I'm doing it separately. Then let's do it again. Select it and press E to extrude it along the x-axis. Let's snap the Z location of these vertices together. Because we are working with the vertices, you should change the snap option from here to vertex. And now if you select one of these ones and press G and Z, and if you hold Control, the snap option will be enabled, and if you hover on one of these vertices, it would be snapped to that vertice. And I want to snap it to this vertice, and that is good. Now both of them are in the same height, and maybe we can grab them and bring them a little bit down too. That is good now. And come back to object mode and let's bring it a little bit to the side. Then press tab again and select these two vertices here. Then press Ctrl B to bevel them, and you see that it isn't working because Ctrl B is for beveling the edges, and here we are beveling the vertices. For beveling vertices, you should press Ctrl Shift B, and then we can bevel them. And maybe that is good. Yeah, that's good. And select these two vertices here, press G and Z. Then with these vertices selected, press Shift S, then select the cursor to select it, and then press tab again to go to edit mode, and right click, and from the set origin, select the origin to 3D cursor. And now we can add a mirror modifier for this object as well. Select the mirror modifier and change the axis from X to Z, and it would be mirrored perfectly on the X axis. And let's convert it to curve. Press F3 and the search menu will open up to you, and you can search here for convert to curve, and if you select it, it would be a curve. Now this object is a curve now, and you see that we have another option here for it's for curve setting. And from the geometry part, you can change the bevel depths. We can add some depths, you see, and maybe we can bring it and push it a little bit to the side. Maybe we can select this object here and press tab, then select the face select mode by pressing 3 and select this face and bring it a little bit outer. Something like this is good. And select this one here and press G and Y to grab it on the Y axis. I think it is good. Or maybe we can rotate it a little bit. Press R and X to rotate it on the X axis. Press 3 to go to side orthographic view to have more control. Maybe this is good. And also we can fix this object's position. Press tab to go to edit mode and select this face here, this inner face. Press Alt Z to enable X-ray mode and select this face here. And then press Alt Z again. So press 3 to go to side orthographic view, and let's grab it a little bit to inside of this shape here, and maybe we can grab it on the Y axis a little bit. Now press 3 again to go to side orthographic view and just rotate it a little bit. That's good, I think. And maybe we can increase or decrease the thickness of it or the depth of its bevel. I think it is good now. And now when you're satisfied, when you're done with the depth and the thickness of this model, you should change it to, or you should convert it to mesh again. And now press F3 again, and now search for convert to mesh. And if you hit OK and press tab, you'll see that it's not a curve anymore and it's converted to mesh again. And let's add a subdivision modifier. Press Ctrl 2 and right click, then shade smooth to make it smoother. And we have a nice object here. So let's add a mirror for this one as well. Come to the modifiers tab and add a mirror modifier and select the y-axis to this one, and let's disable the x. But you see that it isn't working because the pivot point of this object is here. It should be here on the center to work as well. But we can use an object to mirror it. We can select the eyedropper tool and select one of these objects, and you see that it's mirrored perfectly and there's no need to change the pivot point's position. And I think we're done with the modeling part. Or maybe we can change this object here. I don't like it so much. Let's add another object. For now, let's hide it and press Shift A and add a circle. Then we can change the vertices to maybe 5. I think 5 is good. Then press 1 to go to front orthographic view and grab it on the Z. Then press tab to go to edit mode and scale it down. And then press F to fill it, and now E to extrude it along the Z axis. And press tab to go to edit mode, and let's bring it to this point. Press 1 to fix its position, and also press 3 to go to the side view. And let's grab it and push it to the right position. Maybe here is good for it. Let's grab it and press G and Shift Z to not moving in the Z axis and just moving X and Y axis. I think it is good now. Then press tab again and select this face. Then let's scale it down to somewhere like this. And let's bring it a little bit higher. And maybe we can select this face and bring it higher a little bit too. And scale it down. Scale it a little bit higher and press E again and extrude it. And let's scale it down now. Scale it a little bit high. And now it is better than the previous one, I think. Press 3 again to go to side orthographic view, and let's push it a little bit to the side. Or maybe we can just find it. We can just find the right position for it. I think it is good. Yeah, it's good. And let's add a little bit details. Press tab to go to edit mode and press I to insert this face. Then I think it is good. Then let's extrude it inside a little bit and scale it down. That's good. Press tab again. And let's add another detail for the blade part. Select blade and go to the edit mode by pressing tab. Select this face and this face, and also this face is here. And let's insert them as well. I think this is enough. Hold Alt and select this loop cut, and also hold Alt and select this loop cut as well. And press Alt E and this extrude menu will open up to you, and select extrude faces along the normals, and let's extrude them inside a little bit, and press tab again to go to object mode. We're done with the modeling part, and I think it's enough for this video. It's going to be too long. Try to make and model your own gray sword up to the next video, and in the next video we're gonna work with the light setup and also the shading part. And if you enjoyed the video, just click on the like button and subscribe in my channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and also hit the bell in the case of not missing any new videos. So see you on the next video.